Beautiful night for baseball at Miller Park as the Brewers are closing out 20 games in 20 days. They have won 14 of those, including the first 2 against the Braves. So they're going for the sweep tonight. Out on the bump, it's going to be the left-hander Paul Maholm of the Braves with only 3 wins in 21 career starts against Milwaukee. And Giovanni Gallardo, the ace of the Brewers staff, who has a career ERA versus the Braves of only 1.91. Be an interesting pitching matchup tonight. Hi, everybody. I'm Craig Kashan alongside Davey Nelson. Great to have you aboard here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Well, I'll tell you what, the Brewers over the last 22 games, they won 17 of those contests, Davey. They're putting it all together right now in this wild card run.
Well, they picked a great time to do it because they're playing on all 4 cylinders. When you look at pitching, offense, defense, and they've been running the bases well. And when you're doing that, you're going to win ball games.
And the Brewers have returned to 500 for the first time since mid-April. They have a 71-71 record. They have only had 3 days on their schedule this season where they have been over 500. That's where they are trying to get to with a win against Atlanta tonight. 3 more things to check off the list. Hitting, pitching, but don't forget about that stellar defense Davey was talking about. DA and Rock sure won't. They take a lovely look at the Crew when we come back.
Big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, when you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible.
Just about ready for the game's first pitch, the final game of this series. The Milwaukee Brewers and the Atlanta Braves. Ricky Weeks, he's on a great run. Had a home run yesterday, had a triple, a .351 hitter over his last 13 games, and he is hoping to stay hot tonight as the Brewers try to sweep the Atlanta Braves. They have fought their way back to 500, and now they're trying to fight their way over 500 and back into this wild card race right now. Rock, the Brewers are 4 games back. They trail the St. Louis Cardinals for that second wild card spot. St. Louis is currently tied with San Diego, but let's talk about how the Brewers are getting it done. We focused in on the small ball yesterday, and the defense has been very good in this series so far.
You know, offense is going to come and go. I mean, even with the Brewers, as good as their offense has been, but pitching and defense are going to win you championships and take you a long way. Right now, the Brewers are playing as good of defense as anybody in all of baseball. They're currently ranked 5th in the National League, the 5th fewest errors, and when you make outs on the bases like the Brewers have been able to get outs this series, you shorten the game. Even when teams are struggling to swing the bats, you minimize the at-bats. 4 outs on the bases in the first game of this series. Guys really playing good defense, taking away base hits, not giving extra outs, and that has been the key to this series so far.
Home Depot doing more on defense. The Brewers back in the hunt. Can they keep it rolling tonight? Milwaukee going out their 9th consecutive home win. Brewers Braves coming up next.
You never had it so good.
As good as the Brewers have played all year during this stretch, and now they give the ball to their ace. Opening day starter Yovani Gallardo takes the mound as the Brewers go for the clean sweep of the Atlanta Braves. Freddie Gonzalez and the Braves, they are sitting with a very comfortable lead in the wild card race right now. You can't tell that to Braves fans after what happened last year, but Atlanta is sitting in a position where they are 5.5 games up on the St. Louis Cardinals for that first wild card spot. Piggly Wiggly batting order for Atlanta. Michael Bourne, Martin Prado, and Jason Hayward at the top. Chipper Jones back in the lineup. Freddie Freeman, then Dan Uggla, Brian McCann, Paul Janisch, and Paul Mahalem rounded out for the Atlanta Braves. And that's the batting order that will face Yovani Gallardo, who's trying to keep a winning streak alive.
Yeah, Yovani's won 6 in a row, although his last couple of starts have resulted in no decisions. The Brewers have won 8 of his 8 starts in a row and 11 of 13. He leads all of baseball in quality starts with 23.
Gallardo has not lost since the 26th of July against Washington, and making a bid at a victory here tonight, which would be his 15th of the year. Michael Bourne leads off, takes ball one, and off we go here at Miller Park tonight. Bourne, very speedy leadoff hitter. He has been held in check for the most part of this series. The Braves have only scored 1 run in this series. Brewers picked up a shutout last night. The 7th shutout of the season, a combined effort. And it was Marco Estrada who picked up the victory. We've had Peralta and Estrada win the first 2 games of this series. 3 balls and a strike on Michael Bourne. Comes in batting .279 with 9 home runs, 56 driven in. Well, it was a night last night where the Brewers won and then commenced to scoreboard watching. The Pirates lost to the Reds yesterday. The Dodgers lost to the Diamondbacks. And the last game to finish, the Padres beat the St. Louis Cardinals. The 3 teams ahead of Milwaukee all lost yesterday after the Brewers' victory. Gallardo strikes out Bourne to get it started tonight. Here are the Brewers defensively this evening, courtesy of Menards. Ron Gomez and Aoki, Ramirez and Ishikawa on the corners, with Bianchi and Weeks up the middle. Jonathan Lucroy does the catching tonight. And Ishikawa making his 3rd consecutive start for the injured Corey Hart, who is still not ready to play just yet with that injured foot. The Brewers are hoping he can return Friday, maybe in a pinch hitting role, but probably going to be more towards the weekend, or it could be on the next road trip for Corey Hart.
Yeah, good news for Corey Hart. He took some batting practice, some late batting practice today in the Brewers' normal batting practice session before the ball game, and he says it's coming along, but still bothering him quite a bit.
Martin Prado with 1 away, hitting .299 coming into play tonight. He has 9 homers, 64 driven in, and a bouncing ball. Weeks is there. Gallardo might have got a piece of it. Out number 2.
Well, the one thing Brewers pitching has been doing a good job of in this series is keeping the Braves off the board early. Brewers have not had to play from too far behind in this series. Able to control the top of the batting order for the Atlanta Braves. There you see the umpiring crew: Lance Barksdale, Jordan Baker, Adrian Johnson, the crew chief Gary Cederstrom over at 3rd base.
2 quick outs. Gallardo facing Jason Hayward. And a fastball missing inside. Well, it's fun to be scoreboard watching once again, isn't it? And checking the score now, the Padres have taken the lead on the Cardinals 3-2. That game's in the 7th inning now in San Diego. Yasmani Grandal gave the Padres the lead in the bottom of the 6th. And who'd have thought we'd have ended up here? Brewers were 12 games under 500 less than a month ago, and here they are right back at 500 on this torrid streak. Brewers are 71-71, back at 500 since late April when they were 9-9.
And they feel as though they're right in there.
Hayward launches that one. That is way back, and that is gone. And the Braves strike first on a booming home run from Jason Hayward. His 26th home run of the season, and it gives the Atlanta Braves a 1-0 lead.
He just tomahawked that high fastball from Gallardo, just as I was talking about the Braves not being able to get anything going early in the game. He hits one out of here with 2 outs. A big fly.
Third baseman.
Only 91 miles an hour, maybe a cutter.
Chipper Jones introduced for perhaps the final game here. You know, it'll be the final in the regular season as Jones responds right away. A base hit. Gomez able to cut it off, and he will hold Chipper Jones to a single. Jones' last trip here in Milwaukee, and prior to the ball game, Craig Counsell, now a member of the Brewers front office, joined Ryan Braun, and they offered a parting gift for Chipper Jones as his
swan song continues, and in true Milwaukee fashion, the sausages were there to present a one-year supply of Clements sausages, the cookout kit, and a beautiful grill. Well done.
And Chipper was hoping to get that too. He made no bones about the fact that he'd like to have some brats. Loves the Clements brats at the ballpark. And I would imagine he knows how to use that grill pretty well.
So as he heads in retirement, you know, he'll be well fed, at least for the next year. As Freddie Freeman takes a ball down and in. Freeman back in the starting lineup. Had the day off yesterday. A .262 hitter with 19 home runs and 85 runs batted in. Freeman, prior to yesterday's off day, had started 79 of 80 games. 79 of the last 80 games for the Atlanta Braves. Freddie Freeman desperately needed a day off, and he got one yesterday. Sometimes that can rejuvenate a hitter.
He gave Lyle Overbay an opportunity yesterday. Lyle 0 for 3. So Freeman back in the lineup, 22 years old. Got some youngsters on this club.
Yeah, you got the 22-year-old Hayward, Freeman at 22. And then there's Chipper Jones at age 40, still getting it done. Full count to Freeman.
Certainly not a threat to run Chipper these days. He used to when he was younger. Not moving around all that well. But moving around pretty well for a 40-year-old, still playing about every day.
Yeah, we were wondering if we were going to see Jones in the lineup tonight. He plays 2 out of every 3 games typically. Usually gets day games off. Freeman in the air to center field. Slightly jammed, and Gomez will make the play. Gallardo is through the first, but not before Jason Hayward goes deep. 1-0 Atlanta. In the early going tonight. Jason Hayward with a first inning home run. Now Ron Renicky will hope his crew can stay hot. Brewers have won 8 straight here in their home ballpark. They're 16-2 over their last 18 here at Miller Park. And this is the batting order that Renicky pencils in today. It's brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. Aoki, Weeks, and Braun at the top. Middle of the order is Ramirez, Lucroy, and Ishikawa. Gomez, Bianchi, and Gallardo rounded out. And the Brewers will face left-hander Paul Mahalam. Started the year with the Cubs, traded to the Braves, and he's been a nice pickup for Atlanta.
Yeah, 3-3 since joining the Atlanta Braves. They picked him up on July 30th along with Reed Johnson. You know, from the Cubs, he's 3-10 with an ERA around 5 against Milwaukee in his career, making start number 28 overall.
He's had 2 starts against the Brewers this season, both as a member of the Cubs, and both of them were rough outings. He pitched against Milwaukee on the 10th of April and gave up 6 earned runs in just 4 innings. and then came back and pitched at Wrigley Field against the Brewers on June 6th. Gave up 4 earned runs in 4 innings as Aoki sends one to left field. Martin Prado is there for the first out. You've met Prado. The rest of the Braves defensively: Michael Bourne, Jason Hayward, Chipper Jones, Paul Janisch, Dan Uggla, and Freddie Freeman go around the horn. And the catcher is Brian McCann, his 3rd consecutive start, catching Paul Mahala with the Menards Braves defense.
Yeah, Braves the top team defensively in the National League. Although they've kicked it around a little bit in this series, only 75 errors. That leads all of the National League so far this year.
Ricky Weeks will bat second again tonight. Had a home run last night off Tim Hudson. And he lines that one into right field, a base hit. So Ricky Weeks really starting to heat up at the plate. He's done a nice job offensively since the All-Star break, but looks like he's settling into a nice zone right now.
And waiting back in the baseball nicely, and because of that, his average continues to climb. Well, Mahala against the Brewers, and what we've seen from him throughout his career, gives up a lot of runs early in the game, 1st, 2nd, 3rd inning, and then somehow he's able to settle down.
Milwaukee hung a 5 spot on him earlier this year, back in April, in that start against the Brewers as a member of the Cubs. Here's Ryan Braun now. Chance of MVP, and he is certainly in the discussion once again this year. The kind of numbers that Braun puts up each and every year makes him a perennial candidate for a Most Valuable Player award. He won it for the first time last year. And now that the Brewers have pushed their way into this pennant race, 4 games back of the 2nd wild card spot to start the day, you have to figure Braun is among the leading candidates. Could certainly put Buster Posey on that list. Matt Holliday of the Cardinals. Nice moment before the game. Braun running over during a Chipper Jones ceremony as they offered the legendary switch hitter the grill and the brats, and Braun was a part of that. That's a nice touch.
It's kind of scary how close their numbers are, based on where Ryan Braun is, his number of years, and his numbers almost identical to what Chipper Jones did early on in his career.
Brewers down 1-0 on a home run by Hayward as Braun bats with Ricky Weeks at first. And a close play over there. Braves do a pretty good job holding base runners. Mahalam gives Weeks a look. There's Ryan Braun. That was just before the Brewers took the field. And good to see Craig Counsell once again looking all front office like. Chipper Jones has pointed something out. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe something in the stands. He went and spoke to the crew chief, Gary Cederstrom, and
maybe something that is kind of giving him a tough time seeing the baseball, perhaps.
Some kind of glare or something in the stands.
Maybe a fan doing something.
Or maybe he's looking for his grill.
I don't think he's upset with Mario back there, is he?
No.
Our cameraman.
Hold her steady, Mario.
Just keep it down. That red light's right side. Just keep it down. The red light's right side.
Well, when you come to a game and the umpire scolds you, I guess that's kind of a shock. It's okay, man. Be all right.
That was the way to handle it. Lance Barksdale just said, can you keep the camera down while he's at the plate? The red light is right in his line and distracting him. You know how the flashes go, the big red light shutters first?
Yeah, that's a moment that lady will not forget.
She has received the attention of Chipper Jones. Back up the middle, a diving stop by Giannis to throw to second is in time for the out.
very talented defender, Paul Janisch. And he showed that skill right there. He took a hit away from Braun and is able to get an out of it.
Yeah, the Braves picked him up from the Reds. Yeah, change up from Paul Mahalem. Nice play by Janisch, and another good play by Dan Uggla, acting like a first baseman, fielding the baseball and getting Ricky at second base.
Andrelton Simmons, the rookie shortstop, out with a sore ankle tonight. Janisch gets the call. Well, here's Aramis Ramirez. 2 gone in the inning. Braun at first. We'll see if Ryan Braun wants to run here. Ramirez homered last night. He was 2 for 4. Scored twice. He drove in a run. Ramirez hit a booming home run last night. Hit it up into the Club Goodwill section in deep left center field. And this was the icing on the cake. Part of that 5-0 shutout win for Milwaukee. Powerball home run number 23 for Aramis Ramirez.
That was an 8th inning home run. Another big 7th inning for the Brewers. They've had 2 of them in this series.
Now the Brewers scored 4 runs in the 7th on Monday night. They scored 3 last night. Seven of the 9 runs in the series for Milwaukee coming in that 7th inning. Brewers have outscored the Braves in this series 9-1. Picked up their 7th shutout yesterday. It was a combined effort. Started with Estrada, then Jim Henderson. Frankie Rodriguez had a scoreless 8th, and Brandon Kinsler a scoreless 9th.
The starting pitching for the Brewers in this stretch has been excellent, to say the least. Good starts by Willie Peralta, first game of the series. Marco did not allow a run while he was out there last night.
Three balls and a strike on Ramirez, and that one caught the outside corner for strike 2. Well, now Braun will be running. 3-2 with 2 outs in the first. Jason Hayward homered for the Braves in the top of the first. Just getting started here at Miller Park. Great to have you with us tonight on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Braun takes off, and Ramirez takes a called strike 3. Inning over. Ramirez disagrees. We head to the second. 1-0 Atlanta.
Coaches have done a great job in not letting players rationalize that less was expected from them after key injuries in the Zach Greinke trade. Greinke told me sometimes it's helpful when nobody expects a team to do anything. They go out, relax, they have fun. And in the Brewers' case, there were some thoughts it would be an uphill battle early in the season. But Greinke says that thought changed when so many young guys came up, did very well, and helped this club get right back in the race, guys.
All right, Mark, thank you. And you certainly have to give a lot of credit to Ron Renicky and his coaching staff. And even Ron said himself after last season, which was a great season, he goes, you know, the test of a good manager and a good leader is when the times are tough. And Brewers have had some tough times this year. Now they're playing well. They are hoping there is enough season left to get back in and make it to the postseason. It's going to take a miracle finish. I don't think anybody disagrees with that in that Brewers clubhouse. Going to have some help along the way, but they feel like they can win each and every night they show up, and that's where Renicky and the coaching staff has been trying to get this team all season.
Yeah, and they've done a nice job. I mean, you have to really tip your hat to what Ron Renicky and the coaching staff have done, keeping these guys focused, even when they were 12 games under 500. Remember that road trip where they went 1-5. They lost the series to the Astros in Houston. Then they got swept by the Rockies, and things were not looking very good.
Dan Uggla breaks his bat and he rolls out. Ricky Weeks takes care of Uggla, and Gallardo has his first out of the second inning.
And that sweep at the hands of the Rockies in Colorado came around mid-August, and since that sweep the Brewers have not lost a series. They have played very good baseball, and the big difference has been the bullpen. These guys have started to turn things around and started to finish games.
So since that sweep, the Brewers have won 19 out of 26 games. They've been great here at Miller Park. They have reestablished the home field advantage here, and that's not a big thing typically in baseball, but it has been for Milwaukee over the last couple of seasons. It certainly was last year. The Brewers have the best record in their home ballpark in the major leagues. And to play 8 series and not lose a series says a lot about where this team has been and where they're headed, hopefully.
Yeah. 71-71. Everybody's looking above, you know, the standings and, you know, in that wild card standings. But if you haven't looked lately, check out the Philadelphia Phillies and where they're at. They have been playing very well, just like the Brewers.
Brian McCann fouls that one away. 2-2 the count. The Phillies won again today behind Cliff Lee. So the Brewers actually need to win to stay tied with the Phillies. Philadelphia has won 7 consecutive games. Brian McCann with a 20-homer season. Although his batting average is a lot lower than it normally is at this part of the season. Gallardo misses, maybe a little bit low. And his first walk allowed.
Hey, this Sunday, all fans attending the Brewers Mets game will get an Aramis Ramirez bobblehead, courtesy of Wild Impact Marketing. Call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com for tickets. I like the music.
Yeah. Will take me out to the ball game, a little Zydeco style.
A little carnival-ish.
Here's Paul Giannis, the Atlanta shortstop. Mets are coming in this weekend. Brewers will take tomorrow off, and then the Mets here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then the Brewers embark on their final road trip of the year. By the way, the rotations are set for the Mets series. Mike Fiers against John Neese on Friday night. Markham will go against Henry Mejia on Saturday. And then Willie Peralta is back on the mound against Chris Young Sunday. Paul Giannis into center field. And there is out number 2.
No R.A. Dickey.
Nope, no R.A. Dickey. 6-man rotation with the Mets.
Too bad. It would have been fun. I know the Brewers hitters aren't heartbroken over that.
Dickey won his 18th ball game the other day. He's making a run at a Cy Young Award. He and Gio Gonzalez probably the two favorites right now for the National League Cy Young Award, you would think. Paul Maholm will bat, the Braves pitcher, who is 4 for 54 this year. Does have 3 runs batted in. He's also homered this season. Braves got a run in the first on a Jason Hayward 2-out home run. Yanked one into the Loge level in right field. It was a very well hit ball. There's a strike. 1-2 on Maholm. And down he goes. Gallardo, just for fun, tries the curveball. Strikes out Maholm, and a scoreless second. Second, Brewers are coming up against Paul Maholm. And a reminder to get all your high school football action with Fox Sports Prep Zone. This Friday at 7 p.m. Tune into Fox Sports Wisconsin Plus. Greendale takes on Pewaukee. Or you can log on to foxsportswisconsin.com, click on the Prep Zone tab, and watch Eau Claire Memorial and Chippewa Falls and Oshkosh West versus Wisconsin Rapids. Just go to foxsportswisconsin.com for all the pertinent information. Good crowd on hand tonight on a beautiful night for baseball once again. Just glorious weather this time of year.
Another great crowd here at the old ballpark.
Jonathan Lucroy will lead off. He'll be followed by Gomez and then Ishikawa.
Maholm not afraid to come inside. He did a nice job on Aramis Ramirez, catching him on the inside corner to strike him out to end the first inning. Try to get you out of the way. He'll show you inside. He will throw it for a strike.
Lucroy pops this one up. Chipper Jones wants it. Foul territory. One away.
Should be an interesting matchup between Maholm and the Brewers. The Brewers have been hit by more pitches than any team in all of baseball. And Maholm has hit 11 batters. That's third most in the National League. We'll see what happens here tonight.
Kind of falls in the Randy Wolf category, where Maholm knows he has to pitch inside because of his terrific changeup. He has to establish the inside corner, and sometimes left-handers pull those inside pitches, and that can result in some hit batters. Carlos Gomez, and he lines one into left field, a base hit. Before I could say this is an intriguing matchup tonight, Gomez and Mahalam, a pitcher that uses the inside corner and a hitter that loves to swing at the inside pitch.
And Gomez, career against Paul Mahalam coming in, a .412 hitter. And there you go. He likes to use the inside part of the plate. Gomez loves it in there. He and Ryan Braun have good numbers against Paul Mahalam.
Speed to burn at first base. We'll see if Gomez is on the attack. Travis Ishikawa. You might notice the Brewers flip-flop their batting order with Gomez and Ishikawa, and this is the reason why right here. Ron Renicky wanted a left-handed hitter behind Carlos Gomez should he reach. Makes it a little tougher on the catcher. Gomez, the best stolen base threat the Brewers have. He has 32 swipes this season. And I would imagine for Ishikawa, it puts him in a pretty comfortable spot at the plate. Every time Gomez gets on, there's going to be a lot of attention paid to Carlos Gomez, and perhaps Ishikawa can get a mistake or two tonight.
And maybe get a fastball and do some damage. Now, you're a catcher, you know a guy like Gomez is on first base. I mean, the instinct you have is you don't want to throw anything off speed. You want to get the baseball as quickly as you can to try and throw him out. And you may have a tendency to call a few more fastballs.
What does it do for a catcher to have a left-handed hitter versus a right-handed hitter with a base stealer?
It's tougher to see him get the jump. I mean, depending on where the hitter is in the batter's box, now Ishikawa is in the back end of the batter's box, so it could, disrupt the view of McCann trying to keep an eye on Gomez. So what you have to do in that sense, you just got to assume every pitch he's taking off.
The Brewers were able to steal a few bases on Monday night against McCann. And the running game is a big part of what the Brewers do. It's a very interesting team statistically, Milwaukee. They hit a lot of home runs. They lead the National League in home runs, and they steal a lot of bases. Second in the National League, trailing only the Miami Marlins in total steals. There has not been a team to lead the league in home runs and stolen bases since the 1996 Colorado Rockies.
Another team you don't really associate with a lot of speed.
Especially during those years, right?
Right. And the Brewers right now lead the National League in home runs and runs scored. They passed the St. Louis Cardinals. They're 6th in batting average. It's been a very good stretch offensively for the Brewers.
Three balls and a strike, and Ishikawa fouls it away. Now the Brewers during this stretch of winning averaging over 6 runs per game. Offense has been clicking on all cylinders, and that's not just the home run ball. As we saw Monday night, a lot of small ball, some bunts, sac flies, stolen bases. This club can score runs in a lot of different ways. And now the record's starting to show itself compared to the individual statistics. Brewers have hit a lot of homers, stolen bases. Their pitching staff has a chance at a major league record for strikeouts in a season. Bouncing ball. Ugla shovels it over to Giannis. And how about Gomez disrupting Giannis? Gomez is hobbling behind second base, but he got enough of Paul Giannis to disrupt that timing, and Ishikawa safe at first.
He went out there good ways to break up that double play. As long as you can touch the bag with something, and you can see Gomez able to touch the bag with his hand, and that's why Adrian Johnson didn't call interference. Hand goes right over second base. Second base umpire was looking at that and disrupting the double play. Look at the eyes of the second base umpire looking at second base to see where Gomez is. That's a good slide.
The Yankee right back to the mound, and Mahalam takes care of him for the final out of the inning. 2 scoreless for Paul Mahalam. We head to the third. Carlos Gomez comes with a price. He is going to be taken out of the game, and Rocket looks like it's his right knee.
You see it right there, knee on knee right there, and Paul Janisch with the momentum going towards second base, and Gomez took the brunt of that blow right there.
But it looked like Paul Janisch has a pad, like some kind of plastic knee pad, and that's what Gomez clipped. So he is out. Ron Renicky takes him out, puts in Logan Schaefer, a very accomplished defensive outfielder. Schaefer's been in AAA all season. You don't lose much defensively here with Schaefer.
But you throw a left-handed hitter in against Paul Mahalam. That's the problem that you have.
Michael Bourne leads off. And they see Renicky having a chat with Ed Cedar, the third base coach. So injuries are starting to pile up a little bit for Milwaukee in an injury-plagued season. And now some matchup challenges for Ron Renicky as he inserts Logan Schaefer in the game. And Gallardo makes quick work of Michael Bourne.
Bourne's had a rough series so far. The Brewers have done a nice job keeping him off the bases.
Well, for Gallardo, that is his third strikeout. Martin Prado takes strike one.
Talk about that pad that Paul Janisch has. I would imagine middle infielders would just as soon go out there with some catching gear. You know, the way you guys come in and try and break up double plays. A variation of shin guards would probably be something that they'd enjoy.
That's right.
Of course, it'd limit their range a little bit, but they take a beating out there, particularly a second baseman.
0-2 on Prado. Breaking ball misses. And nobody goes in more aggressively than Carlos Gomez. First of all, he is so fast and he's so big. He can cover a lot of space at 6'4", 220.
And that's the thing. He gets down there so quickly, and infielders know it. And sometimes that makes them rush their throw.
Gallardo deals a 2-2. Steer right call. Prado is rung up. Gallardo with back-to-back strikeouts, now with 4 for the game.
Well, dotting the I right here on the outside corner. Check it out. On the corner at the knees, and Lance Barksdale rings it up. Good pitch. It's the kind of command we've seen from Gallardo just about all year. You take away a handful of starts, and he has been terrific. Fastball command has set up everything for Gallardo this year.
As he ties up Hayward. 2 outs with Jason Hayward at the plate. He's responsible for the lone tally tonight. He had a home run with 2 outs in the first inning. And it was no cheapie. Hit it deep into the Loge level bleachers in right field. His 26th home run of the year. Hayward having a career season. He's 1 RBI shy of his career best. With every home run, he establishes a new career high. Bouncing ball, Ishikawa ranging over. Hits Gallardo on the run. Nice play to end the inning. 1-2-3. Gallardo and the Brewers clean up the Braves in the third. Now coming up.
A minute, and it is time now to take the pulse of social media. Brewers fans all series long have been celebrating Chipper Jones and his career in his final appearance here at Miller Park. And sometimes I think we forget that players are fans of the games just like us. Tyler Thornburg tweeted on Monday, being from Atlanta, growing up, watching the Braves and Chipper Jones made tonight really weird. Gave me the chills when Chipper got a standing O. Chipper was nice enough to tweet Tyler back saying, good luck with your career, my man. So Brewers fans, tonight we want to hear from you. What kind of legacy does Chipper leave with Brewers fans? And you can tweet us at FS Wisconsin with the hashtag Chipper.
All right, thanks, Sophia. And that has been a big topic here. You see Chipper Jones in his final appearance here at Miller Park in Milwaukee. His career started playing, at least in Milwaukee, at County Stadium after 19 years in the big leagues, and we'll finish here at Miller Park.
Now, how did Chipper know that Thornburg tweeted that?
Well, typically when you're on Twitter, like you are, Rock, you monitor what
every single player. I mean, don't you have to like follow a certain person and you see their tweets and stuff? I mean,
well, he tweeted it at Chipper Jones's Twitter handle, right? So it's almost like a text message. It's personally to Chipper. And Chipper, he gets thousands that he doesn't respond to, but that one he chose to respond to.
Thank you. And see, that's why I need you around here.
Gallardo grounds out to start the third inning.
This new technology. I'm still learning. Don't be impatient with me.
How about an update here? San Diego
sweeps the St. Louis Cardinals. Skip Schumacher making the final out of the 9th inning. The Cardinals were threatening. They had the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at first. But Luke Gregerson notches the save in the absence of Houston Street. And the Padres, they keep rolling along. They've been playing great baseball lately. San Diego's won 7 of their last 10 games and have now won 4 in a row. They sweep the Cardinals, and that means the Brewers can pull within 3 games of the wild card spot, the second wild card spot, with a victory tonight.
And if the Dodgers beat the Diamondbacks, they're in a deadlock for that last wild card spot. Going to be interesting. I mean, this second wild card is certainly giving a lot more cities the opportunity to get in and keep a close eye.
Well, that's what it looks like right now. See the Braves 5.5 up on the Cardinals, and Dodgers just a half back now. Dodgers play later tonight as well against Arizona.
Yeah, the Pirates and the Cardinals taking on water.
That's the big difference between what happened last year with the Cardinals and their amazing comeback and the potential for Milwaukee. You know, the Cardinals only had to catch the Braves. That was it. And they did. The Braves collapsed. The Cardinals got in despite being 10.5 games back in mid-August. Brewers are going to have to pass the Pirates, the Dodgers, and the Cardinals. And perhaps the Phillies, who won again today and are now a half a game ahead of Milwaukee after their victory this afternoon. Full count to Aoki. And a hot one knocked down by Freeman. A race to the bag and safe. The ball gets away. Aoki safe at first on an infield hit. Freeman just couldn't get it in his glove.
Yeah, Freeman, a very good fielding first baseman, but he knocked it down, and Mahalam just couldn't handle the throw. I don't think it would have mattered. Tried a pretty good backhand pick. Kept it close, and I don't even think a good throw would have gotten Aoki at first base.
Well, will Aoki attempt to steal? He has 24 stolen bases this year. Had one last night. Ricky Weeks at the plate. He singled off Mahalam in his first at bat in the first. Ricky Weeks has 4 hits against the Braves this year. He's 4 for 16, and his first home run against Atlanta came yesterday off Tim Hudson. And that one's off the end of the bat. Bourne coming in fast. That will fall. Aoki had to hold up, and he is out at second base. Got caught in no man's land.
Yeah, there's something wrong with Michael Bourne. He's just not running at all. I mean, ordinarily Michael Bourne is going to make that catch easily. We've seen him, you know, not running all that well after baseball's out in the gap over his head. He just seems like he is having a tough time moving around, and that's his game. His game is speed. Aoki not sure what to do. Kind of caught in no man's land. He gets as far as he can, realizes that the ball's going to drop, and for some reason didn't slide. If he slides, I think he might be safe. And Michael Bourne is not moving very well.
No, he's not. We saw that last night. You rarely see a ball drop in front of Bourne. So that takes a hit away from Weeks. Ricky will reach on a fielder's choice. That'll be just a put out, 8-4.
Hey, fan appreciation night is Saturday, September 29th, as the Brewers take on the Astros. Come out to Miller Park and win fabulous prizes, including a 2013 Chevy Camaro. Visit Brewers.com/fan appreciation.
We got an injury update from the Brewers clubhouse on Carlos Gomez. A right lower quad contusion. Taken out of this game after a hard slide, a breakup slide at second base.
Lower quads, that's very close to the knee.
Yeah. Lower quad, right? That's probably a good thing that it's a quad and not the knee. But the Brewers continue to try to piece together a lineup right now. Corey Hart is out with an injury. Don't expect him to play tonight. Ryan Braun's been nursing a wrist injury. His right wrist is hitless in this series. Braun is now 0 for 7. One ball, 2 strikes. Down in the dirt. Good block back there by McCann.
Now, early in the season, if Ryan Braun went hitless in the series and Corey Hart didn't play, Brewers wouldn't have much of a chance of winning. That's what has been so impressive with these 2 games for the Brewers. Everybody contributing. Young guys coming off the bench, getting the job done, and Brewers have everybody getting into the act lately.
Hart only a spectator at this point. Corey did take some throws today, took a little batting practice, testing out that injured foot. He's in the arch of his foot, and just something that's going to take a little time. He did say that he has an orthotic coming in, an insert in his shoe that should help. That will arrive on Friday.
And it's something that has to be molded to his foot. They did that today. And the rush job should be here by game time. And you might see Corey on Friday. Might not start, but you might see him get into the game. But you would figure Saturday or Sunday. Maybe.
I was trying to sneak in there and see if they could order me up some custom made lifts.
Lifts?
Yeah, lifts, for your shoes. Braun into right field. That's pretty well hit. Back is Hayward, and he makes the catch. Jason Hayward at 6 feet 5 inches ranges up and pulls it down. Close call. Great play, Hayward.
Their second run the entire series. Jason Hayward, his 26th of the year. Carlos Gomez having to leave the game, breaking up a double play, a right quad contusion, so he had to sit the rest of this one out. And Yvonne Gallardo, after giving up that first inning run, has retired Or actually struck out 3 of his last 4 outs. So Yo throwing the baseball well.
And Gallardo with 4 total strikeouts as he works here in the 4th inning against Chipper Jones. Jones had a single in the first. Only 2 hits that Gallardo was allowed came back to back in that 1st inning, both with 2 outs. And Jason Hayward doing it with his bat and his glove so far tonight. A terrific catch to rob Ryan Braun at least of extra bases. Not sure if that was going out or not. It was close.
Well, if it didn't and it dropped, it would have scored a run.
Jones down the left field line. That is slicing. Foul in the seats. Our Carsoup.com email the booth question tonight. With Chipper Jones retiring, who do you think is the best switch hitter in baseball right now? Barry and Waukesha, or let's say next season, post Chipper. That is we've talked about this before, but that's a lost art.
Not too many left. Not sure who that would be. Teixeira.
There's a swing and a miss. Yeah, Mark Teixeira comes to mind. Carlos Beltran will still be playing next year.
Yeah, Berkman's gone. He's out for the season. No telling what he's going to be doing, but I would say Teixeira, you would think. He's put up some huge numbers over there with the Yankees. Can you think of a young switch hitter?
Right.
Not too many.
No. A lost art in Major League Baseball. Kind of like those left-handed throwing catchers, right?
Right.
Now extinct.
Just kind of die away.
Like the spotted owl. Full count to Chipper Jones. Leading off this 4th inning, little tapper foul.
How about Jose Reyes?
That's a good one. Won a batting title. He's in the prime of his career now. See a few speed guys as switch hitters. Some of the younger Latin players. Obviously, a lot of guys try to switch hit. As Jones draws the walk, Gallardo issues his 2nd walk. And a leadoff base runner here in the 4th inning. You know, some of the Latin players in the Dominican, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, especially Venezuela and the Dominican Republic, that they are eligible to be signed by a team at the age of 16. So they go into an organizational facility there. A major league team like the Brewers has a spot as Freddie Freeman dumps one into left center. Jones on his way to 3rd, and Schaefer will not make a throw. Well, the Braves threatening in a big way now. 1st and 3rd with nobody out.
Yep, a walk and a jam shot into left field. Logan Schaefer doing the right thing, not trying to throw to 3rd base, keeping a double play alive. He gets the ball into 2nd. Good decision.
Freddie Freeman's first hit of the night. And here's Dan Uggla. A dangerous hitter with a ton of power. He's had a rough 2nd half of the season. Bouncing ball to short. And the Brewers go 6-4-3 for the double play. Jones scores. The Braves lead 2-0, but Gallardo will take the 2 outs. No RBI for Uggla.
Well, he hit it hard. Fortunately for the Brewers, right at Bianchi. Uggla getting down that line very quickly, almost beat it. No RBI, but the Brewers take a 2-0, or I should say the Braves take a 2-0 lead. Wishful thinking.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and here's Brian McCann. Cardinals have lost tonight. The Padres beat them. They swept them. Now St. Louis heads to Los Angeles to start a 4-game series with the Dodgers beginning tomorrow. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati are tied at 1. That game's in the top of the 6th inning. A.J. Burnett against Homer Bailey. Bouncing ball. Ricky Weeks out in the grass. That long throw in time for the out. Gallardo was through the 4th, but the Braves had another run. They lead 2-0. Is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Good crowd tonight. Wednesday night baseball at Miller Park, Milwaukee. Well, the Brewers find themselves trailing 2-0 now as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Aramis Ramirez leads off. Oh, Ryan Braun had a near miss of a home run, at least an extra base hit. Took a terrific catch by Jason Hayward to end the 3rd inning. Hayward is homer tonight. Braves just scored their 2nd run in the top of this inning. Ramirez will be followed by Lucroy. And then Logan Schaefer, who is now in the game for Carlos Gomez. Gomez left with an injury. Right lower quad contusion. Puts another left-hander in the lineup for Ron Renicky. Bouncing ball to short. Giannis for the first out.
Mahalan really doing a nice job mixing it up. I mean, fastball's in, the changeup going away. He's got that cutter slider going. Showing a nice game. Ordinarily, when he gives up runs, they're early in his starts, but not tonight. Remember, he's 3-10 career against the Brewers.
AT&T trivia question: who did Chipper Jones pass to become the all-time leader in RBIs by a third baseman, whose primary position was third base? Jonathan Lucroy with one away. Mahalan has had a nice changeup so far tonight. He's given up 3 hits. He's given up a hit in each of the first 3 innings. And he's been able to strand runners in each of the first 3 as well. That changeup missed, and Lucroy ahead of the count 3-0. Got 2 lefties coming up, Schaefer and Ishikawa. And you can almost see the look on Renicky's face when he knew he had to take Gomez out. He'd set this lineup according to the left-handed batters, and now he has to have lefties in back-to-back spots in the order. As Lucroy draws a walk.
Now get your tickets now for Brewers on Deck, presented by Time Warner Cable. That's Sunday, January 27th. Buy them by November 1st to get a ticket voucher for a select Brewers home game next April. Visit brewers.com/on-deck for details.
It's always a great event. They'll get a big crowd there, 10 to 15,000 at the convention center. It's always a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll be talking about this miracle in Milwaukee at the on deck event this winter, as the Brewers keep playing themselves into relevancy. A chance tonight with a victory to be 3 back in the wild card race after the Cardinals lost today. Logan Schaefer slices one, and Bourne lays out. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Michael Bourne makes the catch, robbing Schaefer of a base hit.
Yeah, looked pretty good on that one, though, didn't he? Covered some ground, able to make the catch. And we'll go over and replace his divot. Good approach by Logan Schaefer, taking the cutter to the opposite field. The knee digs up a big hunk of grass, and Bourne able to make the catch. He went back and is continuing to try and fix his divot. That's always polite.
That's right. Replace your divots. That'll grow back. Key is to get the distressed grass back into the divot as fast as possible.
You don't know anything about divot. I'm the divot king. You sprain an ankle in one of my divots.
It's like a sirloin steak. Here's Ishikawa. That's what we call hitting the big ball first. Well, 2 gone with Lucroy still at first. And it's 0-2 on Ishikawa. Anything the Brewers get offensively from Schaefer and Ishikawa in this game is going to be a bonus. Not because of their talent, but because of the matchup problems that Mahalam presents to left-handed hitters. Injuries have forced 2 lefties in there. And down goes Ishikawa. Mahalam dropped down 3/4 to strike him out. 4 shutout for Paul Mahalam.
Busy day for Rick. Credits as we check out crew in the community. Billy Woods from Racine got to throw in the Brewer bullpen this afternoon. He won one of the prizes in the Brewers Community Foundation Ultimate Auction, a pitching clinic with Rick Kranitz. Rick studying Bill's motion. Mike Fiers was Bill's catcher. Mike told me Bill had a little pop in his fastball. Bill played ball in high school, and he got his moment in the big leagues today, and he helped the Brewers Community Foundation in a big way, guys.
Oh, very cool. That's. I'm glad he didn't spike one in the ground with Mike Fiers catching him.
Right, that wouldn't have been good.
He'd take one of the choppers, the Brewers starter. So good job, Bill, and that's been a fun thing to see come to fruition. All those who made bids and able to get the winning bids, getting to live out the things that they bidded on. And we've got ours coming up Friday, Rock, our meal, our press meal with the winning bidder.
Right.
Up here in the press box. And then
looking forward to it.
They'll be part of the instructional after the game Friday night as well.
Right. Last year we did rundowns with the winners.
That's a good one. There's a liner right to Ramirez. Giannis lines one to the Brewer third baseman for the first out.
Well, tonight's Tavern of the Game winner is PJ's Log Jam in Rothschild, Wisconsin. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, PJ's Log Jam gets 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
A town named after the New York Yankees pitching coach, Larry Rothschild. No, not really, but probably somewhere down the line they're connected. Mahalam fouls that one back. Quickly 0-2 on the Atlanta pitcher at the plate. He struck out in the second inning. Braves lead 2-0. Brewers trying to sweep the Atlanta Braves with a victory tonight and return the favor from an earlier sweep in April by Atlanta. As Gallardo punches out Mahalam, his 5th strikeout.
Yep, got him on the curveball again. That one right down the middle. Mahalam's certainly not looking for that.
Top of the order, Michael Bourne. We've seen a couple of nice catches in this game by the Braves outfielders, Bourne and Hayward, taking hits away and potential runs away.
Michael Bourne had perhaps the biggest outfield of any in all of baseball, particularly in center in Houston. Still has a pretty spacious outfield to deal with in Atlanta, but not quite as big. He's always made some great catches out in center field. He just doesn't look like he's running, like we've seen him before.
And what tips you off to that is when he has made it to first base, he hasn't attempted to steal at this point. And he's always been one of the great base stealers in the game. Twice he has stolen 60+ bases in a season. A bouncer to Ishikawa, right at him. And Gallardo, a 1-2-3 fifth, picks up his 5th strikeout. Brewers down 2-0 coming up. Miller Park, Milwaukee, on a beautiful night for baseball. Great to have you with us. And the Braves have the early lead tonight. It's 2-0. Braves have doubled up their run production from the first 2 games in this series. Had just 1 run in the first 2 games after being shut out last night. They've scored twice tonight. Jeff Bianchi leads off. Milwaukee is at the bottom of their order with Bianchi, Gallardo, and then go back to the top with Aoki. So far, Mahalam has been very good. He's had a base runner in every inning, but he's stranded a base runner in every inning. 3 hits and a walk issued by Mahalam. Mahalam's been a nice pickup for the Atlanta Braves. One of those sneaky trades that is working out in a big way as Bianchi goes to third. Jones bobbles, recovers the throw, not in time. Bianchi runs too well. Had to come up with that one cleanly. He did not, and Bianchi is aboard to start the 5th inning.
Yeah, probably going to be an error on Chipper Jones. He got there, bobbled it, and just didn't have enough arm to beat Bianchi to first base.
So an error on Jones, his 11th error of the season. Hasn't been a great defensive series for Atlanta, the best defensive team in the National League. Gallardo gets a bunt down. It's a beauty. McCann to first for the out. Gallardo a sacrifice. And now Bianchi in scoring position. A reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. Nori Aoki trying to deliver the Brewers' first run. Aoki had a big 2 RBI double in Monday night's win. Aoki batting .286 now. He's been on a nice run at the plate.
Man, good breaking ball that time from Mahalam. He'll flip that curveball up there once in a while. Not often. And when he does, and he throws it for strikes, hitters are just going to take it.
No balls, 2 strikes on Aoki. 1 gone in the inning. And a little tapper foul. Aoki reached on an infield hit in the 3rd inning. And he is now 4 for 10 in this series. Has 3 runs batted in this series as well. Yet another left-hander against Mahalam.
Yeah, Mahalam's very good against left-handers. He's been very good all year. A 194 opponent batting average against left-handed hitters, and has not given up a home run. So that's what you're talking about. Ron Renegade really doesn't want to have too many lefties. He's got 3 in his batting order. 3 of 8. Talking about position players.
Aoki would probably be in there anyway. He'd be the only one, though, if the club was healthy. If Hart was healthy. Gomez had to leave this game with an injury. So that's why the 3 lefties are in there against Mahalam. Well, you never know. The thing about 2 of the 3 lefties, they've been playing against left-handed pitching. Aoki and Logan Schaefer. Schaefer down in AAA. Schaefer had a nice at-bat his first time up. That was that terrific catch by Michael Bourne, a diving catch in left center. Schaefer came in for the injured Gomez. 2-2. Aoki just shoots one over to third. Jones knocks it down. No chance to make a throw to get Aoki. but he does save a run with that play. And Jones looks like he's shaken up a little bit.
Nori Aoki's amazing. I mean, amazing back control, and just the way he just flips that ball to the opposite field, and Chipper Jones, all he can do is keep it in the infield, and by doing that saves a run for the time being. Aggressive base running by Bianchi, taking off with the ball hit in front of him, able to get to third base.
Well, it's first and third, and the big boys are coming up for the Brewers. Braves are looking for a double play ball. You wonder if Aoki will try to steal one here. Fastball missed. Best threat the Brewers have had tonight against Paul Maholm. And the first time tonight the Brewers have had 2 runners on together in an inning. Good speed out there. 2-0 Atlanta as Weeks takes ball 2. Ryan Braun on deck. You have to attribute some of Weeks' surge here in the second half with his spot in the batting order. Renicky moved him into the 2-hole in front of Braun, and he has really thrived in that spot.
And there's a good pitch from Maholm. A little cut fastball. I'm not sure what he calls it, but not a bad pitch on a 2-0 count. Yeah, you figure you're going to see a lot of strikes to hit and hitting in front of Braun. That is an ideal spot in any batting order. Second batter.
Weeks into right center. This ball's way back, and it is off the top of the wall and gone. A 3-run home run. Ricky Weeks has given the Brewers the lead 3-2.
Well, number 19 for Ricky Weeks, and boy, he waits back nicely and hammers his ball into right center. A nice easy swing, not trying to pull it. And the Brewers with that 3-run home run now take a 1-run lead. How many times have we seen a ball hit off the top of the wall this year?
I was just thinking that. That's at least 5.
At least. Amazing.
So a 3-run homer gives Milwaukee a 3-2 lead as Braun swings and misses. Boy, what a shot. Ricky Weeks really coming on strong here. 2 hits tonight. Had 2 hits last night. Braun narrowly missed a home run, or at least an extra base hit off the top of the wall his last time up. It was a terrific catch by Hayward, leaping up against the wall to pull it down, and that ended the inning. Still just 1 out. Oh, tomahawks one right through the hole between third and short. A base hit.
Well, we mentioned that the big inning has been a problem for Maholm against Milwaukee. Ordinarily coming in the first 3 innings, but tonight a big 5th inning. Well, and it all starts out with an error. Jeff Bianchi able to reach on an error, and then things unraveled for Maholm after that.
Now that's Braun's first hit of the series. Now 1 for 9 against Atlanta in this set, and here is Aramis Ramirez. Brewers are having a tough time getting a read on Maholm as far as their base runners go. 2 or 3 times tonight as Maholm has gone to the plate with a pitch. The Brewers base runner at first has gone back to first base.
Yeah, lefties can neutralize a good running game. Tough to pick up something that they do when they go to home plate. Maholm with a decent move, not great, but he does keep an eye on you at first base. You don't have to have a great move to hold runners. Just got to vary it a little bit, throw over, maybe give you a slide step from time to time, and just keep guys off balance over there. Catchers appreciate it. Of course, by holding runners, you're helping yourself. You keep a guy at a scoring position.
And you keep that double play opportunity alive. Ramirez trying to keep this inning going here. Ricky Weeks a 3-run homer. Ramirez a bouncer over to third base. Jones up with it. Bobbles again. Well, Chipper Jones is having a rough go at third base in this game.
Well, that one might be a base hit. And it will be a base hit.
Infield hit for Aramis Ramirez.
It would have been a tough play. Ramirez busting it down the line, and Chipper Jones not showing a great arm these days. And Ramirez credited with a single.
So that is 4 consecutive hits for Milwaukee against Mahalam. A quick trip to the mound by Roger McDowell, the Braves pitching coach. This inning started with an error. Gallardo dropped a bunt down, a sacrifice. And then Aoki an infield hit, the 3-run homer by Weeks. Braun and Ramirez with singles, setting the stage for Lucroy. Brewers have had some big innings in this series. The first 2 games, it was the 7th inning, and a 4-run 7th and a 3-run 7th. Lucroy, that's a base hit. Braun around third. He'll try to score. Here comes a throw, and Braun is in there. RBI single, Jonathan Lucroy. And it's 4-2 Milwaukee.
Now Lucroy wasn't about to let that inside fastball go by. Well, the crowd chanting Luke. And Lucroy with a big RBI. Here it is, coming inside, and Lucroy ready for it. Didn't mess around. And bangs it into left field. Braun with great speed. Turns that corner at third and able to score easily.
And Braun was booking it around third base. 5 straight hits. 4 runs in. 4-2 Milwaukee. And here is Logan Schaefer now. His second at bat against Mahalam.
One of the things you love to see, when you watch good base runners, running the bases, how quickly they turn the bag, they turn the corner, and really don't take too many extra steps. They really cut down that distance between base to base. Robin Yount was the best at that. Robin Yount, Paul Molitor. It's almost like they hit third base and were able to just right away go right down the third baseline. Not a wide turn. Ryan Braun did the same thing.
Schaefer takes the ball down and in. Two on for Schaefer. Schaefer hit one sharply his last time up. Robbed of a hit by Michael Bourne. And the count even 2-2. Very similar to the big inning the Brewers posted against Mahalam back in April when he was pitching for the Cubs. Stringing together multiple hits and multiple runs in an inning. 3-2. You wonder here, Rock, if Schaefer reaches and Ishikawa due to hit next, you wonder if Ron Renicky would make a move and put Maldonado in the game. Going for a knockout punch, perhaps.
Maldonado's been taking ground balls, but who knows? You see, he's got a helmet in his hand.
And there is ball 4. Schaefer draws the walk, and the bases are loaded. And let's see what the Brewers skipper does here. He's going to stick with Ishikawa.
Maybe a little bit early in the game for that. You want your best defensive player in the game. Ishikawa has had some pretty good swings as of late, but I'll tell you, if this was the 7th inning, and the Brewers were down, you probably would have seen this move, but not in the fifth, not with a lead. You want your best defense when you have the lead.
We did see Maldonado taking ground balls, extensive work at first base during batting practice, just in case, giving Ron Renicky a right-handed hitting option at first base. So here is Ishikawa in a big spot, still just one out, the 9th batter in the inning. Bases are loaded. Ramirez over at third. He reached on an infield hit. Lucroy had the RBI single, and Schaefer very fast at first. He just walked. Ishikawa rips one deep right field. It is down to the wall. Ramirez is in. Lucroy is in. Here comes Schaefer. He scores. A 3 RBI double for Ishikawa. 7-2 Milwaukee. Sometimes it's the moves you don't make that pays off. And Ishikawa delivers in a big way here in the 5th.
Boy, how about the aggressive coaching over there at third base by Ed Cedar, and a good job of it too, because that throw was not very good into home plate. Ishikawa, nice easy swing, not trying to do too much. Finds the gap, and his speediest runner on first base, Logan Schaefer, never slowing down, and that throw into home plate way off the mark. Ishikawa into second with a double, able to get there safe and secure. New York Life. That's right, I said it.
Nice.
First time of the year.
Well done, Rock. 7-2 Brewers. Pitching change. We'll take a break. Big hit, a bases loaded clearing double into right center field, and he makes it 7-2. New pitcher is Christian Martinez. Paul Mahalem was just cruising along, 4 shutout innings, but the Brewers have dropped an anvil here on the Braves in the 5th. It's Bianchi, the 10th batter of the inning.
Some shoddy defense by the Braves. For the best defensive team in the National League, they've committed a few blunders in this series. 3 errors now. This inning all started with an error by Chipper Jones.
He's on that batted ball by Bianchi. Brewers score 7 runs, still at work, just 1 out. Season high for runs scored in an inning is 9. As Bianchi takes a ball. So the numbers right now on Mahalem: 4 1/3, 9 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Popped him up. The Yankee sends one high in the air, fair territory, and there is the second out.
Well, Ishikawa making his manager look good, look smart. Man, that's what managers rely on. You make decisions. Sometimes it's the decision that you don't make, as you mentioned, BA, and leaving Ishikawa in there based on the lead and the game situation, the inning. And Ishikawa proves his manager to be smart. It's up to the players. Managers push the buttons, players got to execute.
Players get the credit, managers and coaches get the criticism.
Right, they do.
It's the way it's always been. Gallardo with 2 gone, and he rips one to left. That will go to the wall. Ishikawa scores, and Giovanni Gallardo gets into the act. An RBI double for the Brewer pitcher. 8-2 Brewers.
What a nightmare inning for Paul Mahalan. The book closed on him now. 8 runs. 7 earned runs, and Giovanni Gallardo on an off-speed pitch by Martinez. They're going to rip that one down the line. And the beat goes on here in the 5th. A snowman for the Brewers offense in the 5th inning.
And now the 12th batter of the inning, Nori Aoki. Think about this. The Brewers brought 7 batters to the plate without recording an out. From the Gallardo bunt down to the Bianchi pop-up. On 6 hits and a walk in a row. And now Gallardo doubles. 8 runs on 7 hits. Aoki had an infield hit earlier in this inning. Matter of fact, both of his hits are infield hits. On a night when the Cardinals have lost. They lost to the Padres earlier. San Diego swept St. Louis. The Pirates are losing 2-1 to the Reds in the bottom of the 7th. The other team that is ahead of Milwaukee, the Dodgers, they are in Arizona tonight.
They're up 2-0.
And Los Angeles with a couple of first inning runs, and they're still batting in the top of the 1st.
It's great to be scoreboard watching, isn't it? Who would have thought, right?
I'm telling you.
A month ago.
This has been some kind of run. And the Brewers need to keep it going if they want to play in the postseason as Aoki draws the walk. Well, the big blow in this inning off the bat of this man, Ricky Weeks. At the plate with 2 on. Our AT&T U-Burst reverse replay from 2-0 down to 3-2 up with that home run off the top of the wall and into the Braves bullpen.
This offense has been incredible, and you really can't pinpoint one guy. Everybody contributing. Guys coming off the bench. Big walk for Logan Schaefer. Able to set the stage for another left-hander, Ishikawa.
Weeks and Ishikawa with 3 RBI hits. Ricky had the home run, his 19th of the year, and Ishikawa with a double. At the plate, presented by Wendy's. Ricky is 2 for 3 tonight. He's now hitting .231. He has pushed himself over the .230 plateau. What is phenomenal about Weeks' second half is the fact that he's been able to raise his batting average 32 points in the second half. That is so hard to do when you have so many at-bats. From 199 to 231 presently.
Well, he was lower than that in June.
Yeah, he was hitting in the 150s.
Yes, he was.
That ball's hit hard to right, but right at Hayward. And the final out of the inning. And what an inning it was. 8 runs in. Ricky Weeks, a 3-run homer to put him ahead. Ishikawa plates 3 as well.
Double in that 8-run 5th inning for Milwaukee. They lead at 8-2. Well, the Packers are up tomorrow night against the Bears. They'll try to avoid starting the season 0-2. Paul Emick spent the day in Green Bay as the Packers went through their pregame preparations, and you can read Paul's coverage at foxsportswisconsin.com. Brewers score a touchdown and they go for 2 in the bottom of the 5th successfully, and they lead 8-2. As Gallardo is back on the mound. Well, things have changed drastically since he was last on the mound. Retired the side in order in the 5th inning, and it was 2-0 at the time, Atlanta.
It's been a while since he's been out on the mound. How long was that half inning from Milwaukee? I guess Joe doesn't mind.
A solid half hour. He was part of the problem, though. He had an RBI double.
There you go.
So Martin Prado will lead off. And the all-important shutdown inning for Gallardo in front of him. 8 runs, 10 hits total for the Brewers. 7 of those coming in the 5th inning. And the Brewers were 1 run shy of matching a season high. Milwaukee scored 9 runs in an inning against the Cubs just a few weeks ago.
The Brewers 5 for 7 with runners in scoring position in that 5th inning. That's not too shabby, including a home run.
Well, Gallardo in his last start here at Miller Park, while the Brewers were scoring runs at will against the Pittsburgh Pirates, Gallardo could not get through 5 innings in that game. He gave up 7 earned runs. A frustrating day for him. He had a home run in that game as well. We'll see how he comes back after a long inning. There were some long innings that night offensively. Gallardo was the starter in that 13-inning marathon in St. Louis, the game that didn't even start until 9:30 p.m. after the 2-hour 20-minute rain delay.
And certainly his best start against the St. Louis Cardinals in quite some time. Cardinals had been beating him up this year, but Yo put together a masterpiece. That had to make him feel good. He was starting to have probably getting that in his head a little bit.
Now the Cardinals had a 9 ERA against Gallardo. And then he gave up 2 runs in the 1st inning against St. Louis. Prado sends one into left center. Braun's got time to run under it. And there is out number 1.
Hey, this coming Sunday, all fans attending the Brewers-Mets game get an Aramis Ramirez bobblehead. And that's courtesy of Wild Impact Marketing. For tickets, call 902-4000 or visit brewers.com.
The Mets are coming to town Friday night. Here's Jason Hayward. The Mets lost to the Phillies earlier today. Cliff Lee.
Yeah, they've lost 6 in a row.
And the Phillies have won 7 in a row. Atlanta swept the Mets prior to this series. They swept them in New York. Don't give much credence to remaining schedule in Major League Baseball. Really, it never works out that way. You just don't know what you're going to get on any given day. As Hayward blisters one over to Ishikawa, he'll step on the bag for the out.
That's why you don't pinch hit for Ishikawa, the lead right there. He is smooth as silk over there at first base.
Back to our AT&T trivia question concerning Chipper Jones. Who did he pass to become the all-time leader in RBIs by a third baseman?
And not a bad one at that. How about that? George Brett.
That was one of my favorite players. I even went with a George Brett stance one year.
How did it work for you?
It did work out all so well. That's why I'm here in the booth. As Jones grounds out and Gallardo shuts the Braves down in the 6th. Ryan Braun will lead off. 8-2 Milwaukee. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Sports Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By the new Miller Lite Punch Top Can. It's Miller time. And by Burger King. Come play family food, where every game piece has a prize. 8-2. We head to the Brewers half of the 6th inning. Gallardo gives the Brewers a shutdown inning after their big 8-run frame in the bottom of the 5th. Gallardo a 3-up, 3-down top of the 6th. Ryan Braun leads off. He'll be followed by Ramirez, then Lucroy. All three with base hits in that 5th inning. Brewers had 5 straight hits, then a walk. And then that big double and that 3 RBIs from Ishikawa. 0-2 on Braun. Ryan with a single in the 5th, his first hit of the series. He's now 1 for 3 and 1 for 9 so far in this 3-gamer. Toughing it out, playing with an injured wrist. I was talking to Ron Renicky today and just curious. I asked him if Corey Hart was available, if he was healthy. Would Braun be playing right now? And he said, I don't think so. And he's not, he doesn't know that for sure because Braun has never indicated that he needs a day off. But I think Renicky probably would have given him one today. Bumping up against the team off day tomorrow as Braun strikes out. And there is the first out of the inning. Martinez picks up his first strikeout. Powerball home run leaderboard. Braun still setting the pace. He's got a career best 38 home runs this year. Hart with 27. Ramirez homered last night, and now Ricky Weeks knocking at the door at a 20 homer season after his 3-run home run in the 5th inning.
You can just tell that Ryan's not himself. I mean, he's trying to play through it. He understands how important it is for him to be in a lineup, whether he's swinging a bat or not. But just his presence in that lineup makes everybody a little bit different. You know, everybody gets pitched a little bit different. You always have to be aware of where Braun is in the lineup when he's coming up. Well, you can just tell he's missing pitches that ordinarily he's going to hit hard somewhere.
Ball and a strike on Ramirez. And that one's in there. 2-1, or rather 1-2, I beg your pardon. Ramirez still leading the league in doubles. Joey Votto is back now after extended time on the disabled list. 44 doubles this year. And that one's ripped right at Giannis. Makes the catch in the air for the out. Tough break for Ramirez on a line drive out.
Not much you can do about that. He waited back nicely. Now Martinez is that guy that throws about 92, but he has a couple of different off-speed pitches. He really does pull the string. We saw him pitch here on Monday and had the Brewers swinging way out in front.
Two outs. Here's Lucroy. Lucroy had a big hit in the 5th inning. Gave the Brewers a 4-2 lead. Had an RBI single. He jumped on the first pitch from Mahalam last inning. Got 3 RBIs from Weeks and Ishikawa. Gallardo and Lucroy with RBIs as well. 8 runs in on 7 hits and 2 walks.
There's that good changeup we were talking about, Martinez. Almost like a palm ball. I mean, it comes in and dives as it gets to home plate. Doesn't look like a splitter. That ball in the dirt might have kicked up something in the eyes of Brian McCann. Didn't look like it though. couldn't see. Maybe a pebble.
I remember McCann has had trouble with his eyes in the past. Remember, he went the glasses route one year, and that was always a topic of conversation a couple of years ago with Brian McCann. Was he going with the eyewear or not? So McCann's all right. Back to work. 2-1. 2-2 on Lucroy. Keeping an eye on the Reds and the Pirates tonight in Cincinnati. Reds lead 2-1. That game's in the bottom of the 8th. Cincinnati took the lead in the 7th. A.J. Burnett and Homer Bailey. Bailey out pitching Burnett tonight. A.J. Burnett is a 15-game winner, but he has scuffled here lately, including a poor outing in Milwaukee.
Yes, he has. Things are not going very well for the Pirates lately. And they are very close to being at 500.
Lucroy pulls one foul.
I mean, the Pirates are what, 12, 13 games over 500 at one point? They're 3 over right now.
Pirates are just a game and a half ahead of the Brewers. Pittsburgh has lost 5 in a row. And in danger of dropping their 6th straight. Full count to Lucroy. 2 outs in the inning. Martinez delivers. And ball 4. Good at bat. Lucroy's had a nice night. 2 walks, an RBI single. And he extends the inning for Logan Schaefer. And here comes Freddie Gonzalez. A pitching change coming up here for Atlanta. Martinez is out. The left-hander coming in with Schaefer coming up. We'll take a break. Every minute of this one, the Brewers were actually being shut out through the first 4 innings, 2-0. Dropped an 8 spot on Atlanta in the bottom of the 5th. Here's Luis Avilan, and he'll take over for Martinez.
Yeah, 23rd appearance, and he made his major league debut on July 14th. So basically, in a little shy of 2 months, he's made 22 appearances. And he's pitched well, has allowed only 3 earned runs in his last 18 appearances.
Third pitcher used by Freddie Gonzalez. 2 outs with Schaefer at the plate. Well, the story of this game, the left-handers in the lineup against the left-handed starting pitcher Paul Mahalam. Corey Hart
out with an injury. Ishikawa forced in. And then early in this game, Carlos Gomez injured, trying to take out Giannis at second base on a double play ball. He successfully prevented the double play, but Gomez had to leave with a right lower quad contusion, and that put Logan Schaefer in the game. So then Renick's looking at 3 left-handers in the lineup. But Schaefer was able to draw a walk in the 5th off Mahalam, and then Ishikawa had the 3 RBI double.
Including Schaefer, drawing the walk off Mahalam. Those 3 lefties had reached base 4 times, including that big double by Ishikawa. Aoki able to extend the inning in the 5th with a base hit and infield hit. So playing a big part in the rally in the 5th inning. All 3 of the left-handers.
Schaefer got a little big league time last year with Milwaukee. I'll never forget his first experience in the big leagues. It was in an exhibition game at Dodger Stadium a couple of years ago, and he was a single-A player that they just brought up to have coverage in the outfield for this exhibition series. And Schaefer fouls it away. So here's a guy who's been, kind of rolling along with the A-ball team in spring training. They bring him up, part of the taxi squad, what they call JICs, the just-in-case players. And then he played in the game, and I remember, Rock, he played well. Made a couple of catches, he got a base hit, and he looked like he belonged. I think his number was something like 86 or something like that.
Well, he can play center field with the best of them. It's just a matter of whether he's going to be able to hit enough to be in the big leagues as a regular. And that's what he's been working on down in the minor leagues. Consistency at the plate. Not a stellar year down in the minor leagues this year, which is why he stayed down there all year. But he is big league ready in center field, that's for sure.
Schaefer in 124 games hit .278 and 11 homers. Just reaches out, serves that one in the infield, and a basket catch by Giannis to end the inning. 6 in the books. 8-2 Milwaukee. Brought to you by Toyota in a wild 5th inning for Milwaukee. It started with an error, Gallardo a sac bunt, and then the Brewers put their hitting shoes on. 6 straight hits for Milwaukee, or 6 straight base runners, and had a couple infield hits. Chipper Jones having a trouble with a ground ball. Lucroy had an RBI, and then Ishikawa with a 3 RBI double. Weeks had the 3-run homer. Ishikawa drove in 3 with a double.
And even Gallardo got into the act with an RBI double, and it was an 8-run inning when it was all said and done. Gallardo still at work as we play in the 7th. Pitch count in good shape for Gallardo. The Brewers do not have a complete game this year. And as a matter of fact, the last complete game registered was Gallardo against the Braves, April of 11. They've gone almost 2 seasons now between complete games. The beginning of last season, and haven't had one this season yet.
And you're probably not going to see one tonight. Pitch count getting up there around 90 in the 7th inning. Ron Redick, not a big believer in the complete game, particularly when you have Gallardo, pushing 185 innings at this point. And no sense with a nice, comfortable lead. No lead is safe, but a 6-run cushion. About time to get the bullpen in action. You get through 7, I think you have to be happy tonight.
Save some bullets for the home stretch. Gallardo making a bid at his 15th win of the year. What's been impressive about Gallardo is the fact that he's going deep into games. He's picking up a lot of strikeouts, and he's winning. He hasn't lost since July 26th.
And coming into the game, he was 6th in the National League in strikeouts with 182.
Freeman rips one to right, a base hit.
Averaging over 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. Gallardo.
Well, Gallardo was down 2-0. Take a look at our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery. Giovanni is high as 94 on the radar gun tonight. Mahalam topped out at 89. Paul Mahalam has to be wondering where this game went. He had a shutout going through the first 4 innings. Entered the 5th with a 2-0 lead. Had given up just 3 hits. And could not finish the 5th inning.
Kind of been the story for Mahalam against Milwaukee. It only seems like that one big inning, maybe 1 or 2 innings where he struggles. Guys get on, just can't get out of it. And a loss today against Milwaukee brings his record against Milwaukee to 3-11.
And this year, Mahalam in 3 starts against the Brewers, unable to log 5 innings. Giving up 16 earned runs in those 3 starts and a little over 12 innings of work. Ball and 2 strikes on Uggla. Curveball, a beauty. Uncle Charles. And down goes Dan Uggla.
That's a Sir Charles right there. That is a royal curveball. Check this out. Buckling the knees of Dan Uggla. And once the knees buckle, you've got no shot, and you just hope it's not a strike.
So 1 gone. Gallardo's 6th strikeout. McCann pops it up. Playable for Ishikawa. And there is out number 2. Remember Dennis Cook?
I do.
Funky left-hander.
Right. Yeah.
Texan. He always had one of the great sayings for a good curveball. He said that pitch had more bite than a buck-tooth termite.
That sounds like somebody from Texas.
Yeah, that was good.
A buck-tooth termite, huh?
Not just a termite, but a buck-tooth termite.
Buck-tooth, yeah.
Speaking of Texans, Paul Yanish batting for the Braves. And Gallardo misses upstairs 2-0. Lucroy, a quick visit out to Gallardo. Giovanni trying to push through 7 innings. Got a nice lead to work with, 8-2. He is sitting at 98 pitches. Gallardo has won 8 of his last 10 decisions. A couple of no decisions in his last 2 starts. And his next offering will be number 100.
We mentioned that, Gallardo, in games that he has started the Brewers in his last 8-0. They've done nothing but put the Brewers in positions to win.
Well, he was 8-8 when this winning streak began. And he loses Giannis. So now 2 on. And it's going to be Lyle Overbay to pinch hit as the Brewers bullpen starts to get active. Parra, the left-hander, Veras, the righty. And Rick Kranitz will make his way to the mound. See how Rick Kranitz, how he covers his mouth sometimes?
He puts his finger over his lip. Yeah.
A lot of pitching coaches do that. A lot of managers. Rick Kranitz was telling a story the other day when he was a pitching coach in Miami, or with the Marlins, the Florida Marlins back then. The owner, Jeffrey Loria, asked him and told him he would pay him a bonus if he would wear a glove out there. And they put a couple of logos on the glove. And he told Kranitz, you'll be all over the sports highlight show.
Yeah, well, that answers the question of the ballpark down in Miami.
Exactly.
A little bit out there, yeah.
He's asking his pitching coach to put a glove on.
Any way to make a buck.
There's a strike to Lyle Overbay. Joe Girardi was the manager at the time, and Kranitz went to the skipper. He goes, you want me to do this? He goes, no. You won't be doing that. Needless to say, Girardi was gone soon after that. That's the rest of the story. How the relationship ended between Girardi and the Marlins.
Don't mess with the owner.
Rick Kranitz was named the coach of the year in the major leagues as a pitching coach for the Marlins. High fly ball, center field. Logan Schaefer is under it. And that's that for the Braves in the 7th. Gallardo 7 strong. 8-2 Milwaukee. Stretch time in front of 37,000 here at Miller Park.
as we head to the bottom of the 7th. And time now to hear from you, the fans, on the pulse of social media. Chipper Jones making his final appearance here at Miller Park. And we asked fans, how will you remember Chipper Jones and his 19-year career with the Braves? As a Brewers fan, Chipper Jones leaves a legacy of longevity, loyalty, and likability. He is an ideal example of class. That from BH. Chipper will always be remembered as one of the great switch hitters of all time. He was a great role model to younger players. That from Gun at the Plate. BA and Rock, always great to hear from the fans. How will you guys remember Chipper and his career?
Yeah, and you think about Chipper Jones. Thank you, Sophia. And you know, he suffered a lot of injuries throughout his career, had some bad knees, had an ACL tear, and what was going to be his first full season in the major leagues in '94. And you just wonder the kind of numbers he would have been able to put up. He put up great numbers as Ishikawa dumps one into right field, a base hit. So Travis Ishikawa with another hit against a left-handed pitcher as he singles off Johnny Venters to start the 7th inning.
And when I think of Chipper Jones, I think back in those Braves days with Bobby Cox, you had Maddox, you had Glavine, you had Smoltz. I mean, really expressionless baseball for the Atlanta Braves back in those days. They didn't really show much emotion. They just methodically went out and beat you day in and day out. And Chipper Jones was always a guy that I always admired because, you know, he was a good ambassador for the game. I mean, he never was in the headlines on the field, issues off the field like a lot of guys do. But, just a class act. I think that, what Sophia was talking about with the fans, tweeting in, I agree. I mean, a class act, a guy that was a good role model to a lot of young players.
Cam makes a play to retire Bianchi as Ishikawa advances. Just the sheer volume of numbers for Jones, and the fact, I think what's probably stands out to me the most, the fact that he had a chance to go elsewhere and he did not. He stayed in Atlanta, and he'll play his entire career as an Atlanta Brave. And Chipper Jones is due up 4th in the 8th inning. We are approaching his final at bat here at Miller Park, and I suppose there'll be a big ovation for him when and if that spot comes up.
You think about it, when Derek Jeter finally retires and Mariano Rivera, who's going to be the next guy to play 20 years with one team?
Right.
15, 16 years. It's going to be lightning in a bottle. You might not see it again.
Eric Ferris will pinch hit. A September call-up. Everyday shortstop down in AAA this year. Played all over the infield, or rather the second baseman, I should say.
Pretty good chance it might be Ryan Braun.
Yeah, Braun, Troy Tulowitzki, those are guys that come to mind.
Yeah. I think we in Milwaukee would be just fine with Ryan Braun around for 20 years.
That's right.
It's been a lot of fun the first, 6?
Braun hoping for an at-bat here in this 7th inning. 8-2 Milwaukee on an 8-run 5th inning. Just one off their season high for runs in an inning this year. They had a 9-run inning against the Cubs. Venters throws that one away. And Ishikawa over to third base.
Not sure if that was supposed to be a changeup or a slider. And everybody's saying, what would Bob Uecker say right there? He's trying to spin that one, and not even close to Brian McCann.
Venters has been a dominant left-hander, but not so much lately against the Brewers. He did not record an out on Monday night. He was a part of that Brewers big inning, a 4-run 7th inning. They scored 3 against Venters. Faced 3 batters. They all reached and they all scored. Ferris hitting for Gallardo. And down he goes. Ferris strikes out. And 2 men are out. Ishikawa still at third base. Gallardo finishes with 7 innings and 2 earned runs. Gives up just 4 hits.
And another quality start. His major league leading 24th.
quality start being 6 or more innings with 3 or fewer runs.
24 quality starts for Yovani Gallardo and 30 starts. That's a good year. Say what you want about the stat, whether you like it or not, but that's the barometer. That's what guys are measured on. And he leads the major leagues.
Aoki tied up. And a strike on Aoki as he falls down.
I wish I could tell you I never did that, but I did.
Down goes Frazier.
I did it. Trying to hold up.
Looks like he got tasered there for a minute.
Nothing real conventional about Aoki, but he puts the numbers up.
He's been a great fit, Aoki. What a personality. I'll never forget in Colorado earlier this year, he walked out of the hotel, had a big cowboy hat on, and he pulled it off.
Yeah, Eddie Cedar bought it for him.
He looked good in that cowboy hat.
Eddie bought it for him in Houston. I was there when he bought it.
There's a fastball strike, 95 miles an hour. 2-2 on Aoki. Now the Cardinals have lost today. They lost to the Padres. Keeping our eye on the Pirates and the Reds as Aoki fouls one away. And that game is over, Rock. J.J. Hoover, the former Brave farmhand, strikes out Jose Tabata. And the ball game ends. The Reds sweep the Pirates. 2-1 the final score.
A little panic going on in Pittsburgh, I would imagine. Can't blame them.
Pittsburgh has lost 6 in a row. Aoki strikes out, and the inning is over. Chance for the Brewers to pick up more ground in the wild card race. We head to the 8th.
For Friday's Brewers game, well, it looks like we picked a good day to be off. The rain moves in on Thursday. That'll be off to the east by Friday. So we're just looking at lingering clouds as we kick off the series with the Mets.
All right, Lena, thank you. And the Mets coming to town. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. The Mets just went 0-6 on their recent homestand. They lost to the Phillies today. And the Brewers will bring in the Mets for a 3-game series starting Friday night. The starting rotations are all set up. Ron Renicki's going to have Fires, Markham, and Peralta pitch those 3 games. Jose Veras now in for the Brewers as we go to the 8th. 8-2. Brewers lead it on an 8-run 5th inning on a night when the Cardinals and the Pirates have both lost.
Well, Jose Veras' 64th appearance here tonight, a 4-4 record. You see the strikeouts, 73 strikeouts for Jose Veras. He has been very good lately, able to throw his curveball for strikes. Yeah, 73 strikeouts for Veras in 59 and a third innings. Pretty good numbers for Veras. Last pitched on Monday against these Atlanta Braves and picked up a win.
So Gallardo exits with 7 innings, 2 runs, struck out 6 tonight. He's in line for his 15th win. Michael Bourne leads off. Veras misses high and away. The other team that is ahead of the Brewers in the wild card race, the Dodgers, they are leading Arizona 2-1 in the 4th. Dodgers scored 2 in the first inning off Trevor Cahill. Popped him up. Bourne out to Braun. 1 gone. Ho-Chunk Gaming text question tonight. Will managers have a shorter leash on starting pitchers due to expanded bullpens? Pete in Sheboygan. Every September, baseball expands their rosters. You can go from 25 up to 40. And typically, ball clubs bring in an army of relievers for that fact.
It depends on the situation. It depends on, the score of the ball game. And I think that, Ron Renicky is going to allow his starters to do what they normally do, 100 or so pitches, get him through the 6th or 7th inning, and then bring the bullpen in. I don't see him doing much different than that. Case in point, with a 6-run lead, he allowed Gallardo to go into the 7th inning tonight. Joe's got, well, he will go over 200 innings again this year.
And Gallardo with 6 strikeouts here tonight gives him 188 strikeouts for the season. He's got a chance at another 200 strikeout season this year. 30 starts, 200 innings, 200 Ks, and double-digit wins. That is an ace.
186 in the 3rd innings for Gallardo at this point.
Ball and a strike on Martin Prado. Including tonight, 20 games left for Milwaukee. And it'll take an impressive run to get to the postseason. It's going to take the kind of run that got them in position for a postseason to finish out the season. You figure the Brewers, you don't like to put numbers on it because you don't know what the teams ahead will do, but not everybody is going to struggle of the teams that are in front of Milwaukee. As Lucroy puts the tag on Prado, Veras strikes him out, and 2 up and 2 down here in the 8th. By the way, the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers keep it rolling. This is in the Midwest League Finals, and the T-Rats winning 3-2. They scored the winning run on a wild pitch in the 10th inning. Rafael Neda scored the winning run, and Wisconsin now up 1-0 in that best of 3. They play tomorrow afternoon in Appleton if you want to catch a little baseball tomorrow. I believe that's a noon start if I'm not mistaken. And they have a chance to win the Midwest League tomorrow with a victory, and they don't have to go on the road to do it.
Yeah, good for them. That's been a good year.
Yeah, we wish them luck. Matt Erickson, their manager, has done a great job, and that is a big deal to win a championship. Part of development, right? You want to develop players and advance them and move them through to the big leagues, but
bring them up together like the Brewers did with Weeks and all those guys. Prince Fielder, Corey Hart, come up together, win together, and bring that winning attitude to the major leagues.
If that team wins a title, the core group of those players will have now won 2 league championships. They won one in rookie ball a couple of years ago. Two balls and a strike on Jason Hayward. 2 outs in the inning.
Ricky Weeks. And there is the final out of the 8th. Barris, 1, 2, 3, retires the Braves in order. Bottom of the 8th coming up.
Inning, it was the 5th where they scored 8 runs here tonight. Chance to sweep away the Braves. Giovanni Gallardo, the guy on the mound, our Marshfield Clinic shining moment. Another stellar quality start.
Woo. 7 strong innings, partner. I tell you what, he had it all going for him. Got off a little shaky, but I tell you what, he really went after, attacked the strike zone down, had an outstanding curveball. Man, you wouldn't want to face that tonight, and had great control.
24 quality starts, leads the National League, and Giovanni Gallardo putting the Brewers in ideal position right now, obviously, to stay in the hunt, and look at him use the bat as well. Hope to catch up with Yo after the game. We'll have Ron Renicky and the Brewer Clubhouse break it all down. Coming up on Brewers Live, Brian.
All right, Craig and Davey, thanks. Here we go to the bottom of the 8th. And one of the hottest hitters the Brewers have going right now, Ricky Weeks. It was his home run that gave the Brewers the lead in the 5th inning. Broke the shutout, went from 2-0 to 3-2 Brewers after that home run. Chad Durbin on to pitch, his 70th appearance. Weeks' home run was a 3-run shot off Mahalam in the 5th. And Ricky has now hit 5 home runs in the last 8 games he's played, giving him 19 for the season. I think a 20 home run season was the last thing on Ricky Weeks' mind at the All-Star break. But he is on the doorstep now. Pops this one up to shallow right. And Hayward makes the play for the out. One gone. Now our instructional coming up. Davey and Rock will have it for you on the Brewers Live postgame show down on the field, breaking down some of the techniques and strategies of the game. What do you have coming up tonight, Rock?
You're going to have to check the Twitter account if you want to know what's going on.
I see at Brewers Fan Camp.
Right. All right, I'll let you know.
Let me dial it up here. Was that recently tweeted? You know, because they start to stack up a little bit, and you got to kind of plow through it.
I think so.
You mean in the last few moments? Because I don't see it yet.
We're going to be talking about, you know, rounding the bases and cutting the distance between 2 bases. Remember Ryan Braun scored on that base hit from Lucroy and how well he cut the corner. And
yeah.
We're going to talk about that. Davey Nelson, a base running coach. And we're going to give a little bit of insight on that. Is that all right?
And what will your role be in that particular instruction?
I don't know. Davey's going to have to let me know. I'm sure I'll do some talking at some point.
Well, we're looking forward to that. Base running instructional. Watching a couple of old big leaguers out there running the bases. That's always fun. Old? I mean, experienced. Experienced big leaguers.
You know what I think? I might be the coach, third base coach. I might be Ed Cedar.
That's good. I like that.
You get the helmet on. I've got the glasses, so always wanted to be Eddie.
By the way, I need to correct myself. The Midwest League Championship is a best of 5.
Right.
So that's, you got to win 3 to win that. So
right.
They can't wrap it up tomorrow.
You see the resemblance, me and Eddie?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Ryan Braun with a base hit. That's what he does. Even when he's not at his best, he still delivers. He has 2 hits tonight, 2 for 5 at the plate.
Up Sunday, all fans attending the Brewers Mets game gets an Aramis Ramirez bobblehead courtesy of Wild Impact Marketing. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com.
Here's Aramis Ramirez, as luck would have it. 37,847 in attendance tonight. Expecting big crowds for the weekend. Those walk-up sales are starting to skyrocket. You might want to get on the phone and get your tickets going.
Let me ask you, Wednesday, it's a school night, right? We got almost 38,000 people here tonight.
Awesome.
I mean, unbelievable fans here.
The energy in this ballpark. The players talk about it all the time.
My hat's off to every one of them. I mean, Milwaukee fans, Wisconsin, great fans. And that's just not, being a homer and talking about that. I mean, you go around the league, teams in pennant races aren't drawing.
Right. Yeah, the Brewers talk about it all the time. The players, the energy in this place, and I know the players are happy to finally be rewarding these great fans with some good baseball, and now they're turning this thing into a pennant race right now.
You betcha.
Brewers have a chance to go over 500 with a victory tonight for the first time since April, mid-April, when they were 3-2 on the 10th of April.
Yep, and finish this one off tonight, and a well-deserved off day tomorrow. 20 consecutive games. 20 games in 20 days for Ron Renick's troops, and they have plowed through that in great fashion.
Brewers were 4-2 on April 11th. That's the best they've been this year. But they're hoping to give them a finish. They're 3 defensive outs away from pulling within 3 games of the second wild card spot. Mike fires up tomorrow against the Mets. Or check it Friday. Beg your pardon. The next game. Ramirez takes a ball down and out. 3-2 the count. Ramirez skies it, and Ugla will make the catch for the second out. I think what's impressive too for Milwaukee is the fact that the Brewers had a nice little comeback in St. Louis on Sunday. Aoki hit the home run. Looked like the magic was still alive, and then the Cardinals won. They beat the Brewers on an Alan Craig single, a walk-off single, but you got the sense that as the Brewers got on the plane, they headed back to Milwaukee. They said, hey, tough team to sweep on the road. Had a winning road trip. Let's go home and keep it going. And nobody was hanging their heads. And
nothing wrong with 2 out of 3 in St. Louis.
Came right back and are on the doorstep of a sweep of the Braves. The 3rd best record in the National League behind the Nationals and the Reds. This next road trip will be a big one, obviously, for Milwaukee, but the caliber of opponent they'll be playing. A 3-city trip through Pittsburgh, Washington for 4, and then Cincinnati for 3. By the way, the Reds win tonight. That win over the Pirates, their magic number to clinch a division is now at 8.
Yeah, that's a tough ball club. They've got everything going right now. Joey Votto back, good pitching. We were talking about the Cy Young. We forgot to talk about Johnny Cueto.
Yeah, he's in there, no doubt, especially putting up those numbers in that ballpark.
3rd in ERA. He's got 17 wins, eating up innings. Yeah.
Strike called. Lucroy rung up, and the inning is over. 8 in the books. Chipper Jones, perhaps his final appearance at Miller Park. When we come back. Going to be making his final regular season appearance at Miller Park, perhaps, here in this 9th inning, barring a big Braves comeback. 8-2. The Brewers have the lead. Jones will lead off this inning. Cameron Lowe is on the mound. And all those Braves fans and Chipper Jones fans here in Milwaukee will send him off. And a standing ovation here. Well, it's got to be an amazing feeling to be an opposing player and to get this kind of ovation. And it has been that way all season long for Chipper Jones as he has gone to these ballparks for the final time. And to get a standing ovation, the Brewers had a nice little presentation before the game. They gave him a year's supply of Clements sausages and a grill. Very Milwaukee kind of gift, and Ramirez makes a catch and a line drive out, and that could be the end for Chipper Jones here in Milwaukee. And again, they come to their feet.
Man, he deserves it. Man, what a pro, Chipper Jones.
Normally opposing players relish getting booed in other ballparks. But he's been booed plenty.
Yeah.
He's done enough damage to be booed plenty. But not tonight.
It's got to be tough on him. I mean, it's all he's known is baseball, and this is going to be it this year. 20 games left. postseason, you would think, with the Braves. Good way to go out, though, in the playoffs. Nothing more difficult for an athlete than that first year after you retire. No spring training, you don't go. I mean, everybody, when you get to that point, you get to around February, you start, dialing in, heading to spring training. And talked to Craig Counsell about that this spring. It's a tough thing. Feel like you should still be on the field, but the body just won't let you anymore.
Yeah, and your body feels as good as it ever has because you haven't been training, and you're like, I can get out there and play a little bit. One and two on Freddie Freeman. So the last time the Brewers were over 500, 4-3 on April 12th. And a chance to go to 72 and 71 with 2 more outs tonight. That is a long roller coaster battle to get back over 500 as Lowe strikes out Freeman. 2 gone in the inning. Cameron Lowe will face Dan Uggla, who is 0 for 3. The Braves had a 2-0 lead through the first 4 innings. The Brewers dropped an 8-run 5th on them. 8 runs on 7 hits. There were 2 walks. 13 batters came to the plate. Had a 3-run homer by Weeks. That took it from a 2-0 Braves lead to a 3-2 Milwaukee advantage. And then Travis Ishikawa with a 3 RBI double. Lucroy and Gallardo with the other ribbies in that inning. 0-2 on Uggla. The series of the big inning for Milwaukee. Braves swept the Brewers in April. And now Milwaukee an out away from returning the favor in September when it counts. Lowe trying to finish it out. 2-2. And that one misses inside. Full count on Uggla. With 1 more out, the Brewers will have won their 9th straight at Miller Park, which ties the most in the history of this ballpark. They won 9 in a row here back in 2011 in May last season. Uggla gets sawed off. That's going to end up in the seats.
The Brewers could go to 16 games over 500 at Miller Park this year. 44-28 with another out. And in their last 19 games here, 17-2.
Oh, man. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
Full count, 2 outs. We'll do it again. And Uggla draws the walk, extending this ball game. And a base runner for McCann. The Dodgers and the Diamondbacks in the 6th inning now. It is 2-1 Dodgers. Dodgers got 2 in the first in that game.
Dodgers can pull within a tie with the Cardinals with a victory tonight. It would still keep the Brewers 3 back in the wild card race. Brian McCann with 2 away. And it goes to 0-2. The Phillies are the team to keep an eye on. Like the Brewers, they are surging right now.
Yes, they are.
Cliff Lee won today, beat Josh Johnson. 3-1 Phillies beat the Marlins. And Philadelphia has now won 7 straight. Brewers would tie them record-wise with a victory tonight. Cameron Lowe, 1-2 on McCann with Uggla at first base, and time is called. Off day tomorrow. The Mets coming in Friday night. Mets lost to the Nationals. They got shut out by Washington today at an 0-6 homestand. With one more out, the Brewers pitching staff is going to hold the Braves to just 3 runs in this 3-game series. One-two pitch, and McCann lines one to right. Aoki was playing on the wall, and that'll be a base hit. Inning continues here as Cameron Lowe has given up a walk and a single. 2 on with 2 away, and that'll give the Wisconsin native Eric Hinske an at-bat here in the 9th inning. It'll be his first appearance in the series.
Hey, we haven't seen him. He's had a nice career. Coming off the bench, every time a pinch hitter comes up, Rick Kranitz, you know, is going to come out there and do a little bit of a scouting report with the pitcher and the catcher.
Well, Hinske trying to secure his spot on a postseason roster. The Braves don't collapse. He's been a part of a number of postseasons. As a matter of fact, he went to 3 straight World Series from 07 to 09. But he's been in a big slump since June. Although he did have a home run on Saturday, he's hitting just 160 as a pinch hitter. 2 on, 2 out, and Hinske takes a ball. One and one on Hinske. Trying to make a winner out of Gallardo tonight. It would be his 15th win, and it would be his 7th straight win without a loss. From 8-8 to 15-8. In the air, Logan Schaefer is under it, and that is that. The Brewers win again. Stay hot. Ron Renicki's club is in it. 3 games back in the wild card. Brewers have won their 9th consecutive game at Miller Park and are now 17-2 over their last 19. You see where they stand. Braves lead the wild card race, then the Cardinals. Dodgers a chance to tie St. Louis, and the Brewers 3 games out. Unbelievable. Back over 500 for the first time since the 12th of April. What a ride this is. Much more still to come. Craig Kishon standing by. Brewers Live coming up. What do you have for us, Craig?
Well, I like that first title up there, how sweet it is for the Brew Crew. We'll look back on how this series unfolded, some outstanding pitching and some major league big-time innings from this club. Coming right back to Brewers Live.